Your cat is staring at you from across the room. Not the fixed hunting stare, not the wide-eyed alarm look, but something else. Their eyes lock with yours, hold for a beat, and then slowly close, pause, and open again. It looks like the feline version of falling asleep mid-conversation. Most people assume it's drowsiness or indifference, that the cat is simply bored or about to nod off. Both explanations feel reasonable. Neither is what's actually happening. What you're witnessing is one of the most deliberate forms of communication in the animal kingdom, backed by specific neurological processes and evolutionary adaptations that researchers have only recently begun to decode. Number 1. The affiliation signal cats borrowed from their mothers. In 2020, researchers at the University of Sussex conducted the first controlled study of slow blinking in domestic cats, publishing their findings in scientific reports. They tested 21 cats across 2 experiments, measuring whether cats would respond to slow blink sequences initiated by humans. The results were unambiguous. Cats were significantly more likely to approach a person who slow blinked at them compared to a person who maintained a neutral expression, and they reciprocated with their own slow blinks 73% of the time. But here's what makes this finding remarkable. The behavior doesn't appear anywhere in feline hunting sequences, territorial displays, or mating rituals. It shows up in one specific context, between mother cats and their kittens during nursing and grooming. Dr. Karen McComb, who led the Sussex study, noted that adult cats appear to have repurposed this infantile comfort signal specifically for interspecies communication. When your cat slow blinks at you, they're using the same neural pathways associated with maternal bonding, the ones that fire when a kitten feels safe enough with its mother to close its eyes in her presence. They've extended that trust signal to you. Number 2. The neurochemical cascade of closing your eyes near a predator. A 2013 study by Japanese researchers at Azabu University measured cortisol and oxytocin levels in cats during various types of human interaction. Cats who engaged in mutual slow blinking with their owners showed a 15% decrease in cortisol, the stress hormone, and a corresponding 12% increase in oxytocin, the bonding hormone. These numbers matter because of what they reveal about the biological cost of the behavior. Closing your eyes when another creature is watching you requires the temporary shutdown of your primary threat detection system. For an animal whose survival has historically depended on constant visual vigilance, this is neurologically expensive. The cat's amygdala, the brain region that processes fear and threat assessment, has to be actively suppressed for a slow blink to occur. This suppression only happens when the cat's prefrontal cortex, the part handling social bonding and trust evaluation, overrides the fear response. What you're seeing is not a passive behavior. It's an active choice where your cat's brain decides that demonstrating trust to you is worth the vulnerability of temporary blindness. Number 3. Why cats reserve this signal for humans more than each other. Here's where the research gets particularly strange. A 2017 observational study conducted at the University of Lincoln tracked 30 cats in multi-cat households, recording over 100 hours of feline-to-feline interaction. Researchers found that cats slow blinked at other cats in only 8% of their social exchanges, and those instances occurred almost exclusively between cats with established affiliative bonds, usually siblings or long-term companions. The same cats, when interacting with their human caregivers, slow blinked in 44% of interactions. That's a 5-fold increase. Dr. John Bradshaw, a cat behavior specialist at Bristol University, argues this suggests domestication has specifically enhanced the slow blink as a tool for human communication. Wild cats and feral populations show the behavior rarely, even with familiar colony members, but domestic cats have amplified it, likely because humans, unlike other cats, respond positively and consistently to the signal. Your cat slow blinks at you more than at other cats because you've become the primary recipient of their evolved trust signals. The being they've learned will recognize and reciprocate that specific form of communication. Number 4. The timing mechanics that separate real slow blinks from eye closing. Not every eye closure is a slow blink, and the distinction matters. Researchers who analyzed the Sussex study frame by frame found that genuine slow blinks follow a precise temporal pattern. The eye closure takes between 0.5 and 0.8 seconds. The eyes remain closed for 0.2 to 0.4 seconds. The reopening takes another 0.5 to 0.8 seconds. The total sequence runs approximately 1.5 to 2 seconds. This is significantly slower than a normal blink, which averages 0.1 to 0.15 seconds in cats, and it's distinct from drowsiness, where eye closures become irregular and progressively longer. A 2019 follow-up study at Nottingham Trent University used high-speed cameras to track eye muscle movements during slow blinks and found activation patterns in the orbicularis oculi muscles, the ones that control deliberate eye closure, rather than the levator palpebrae, which controls the drooping associated with sleep. Your cat is not accidentally closing their eyes. They're performing a motor sequence that requires conscious muscular control, maintaining it for a duration that signals intentionality rather than reflex. Number 5. What happens when you slow blink back? The Sussex researchers designed their second experiment specifically to test reciprocity. When humans initiated slow blinks toward cats they'd never met before, 87% of the cats responded with their own slow blink within 30 seconds. When the same humans maintained neutral expressions, only 12% of cats slow blinked spontaneously. This establishes slow blinking as a bidirectional communication system, not just a one-way signal cats emit. A companion study by McComb's team in 2021 asked cat owners to practice slow blinking during daily interactions for 2 weeks, then measured changes in human-cat relationship quality using the Monash Cat Owner Relationship Scale. Owners who consistently slow blinked reported a 28% increase in perceived closeness to their cats, and behavioral observations showed cats initiated more physical contact, spent 34% more time in the same room as their owners, and displayed fewer stress behaviors like excessive grooming or hiding. What this means practically: when you slow blink at your cat, you're not just acknowledging their signal, you're activating the same oxytocin pathways in their brain, reinforcing the neural networks associated with safety and attachment, and demonstrating fluency in a communication system they've specifically developed for you. Number 6. The trust equation your cat is calculating. The slow blink reveals something profound about how cats assess relationships. Unlike dogs, who have evolved to read human facial expressions and respond to emotional cues, cats rely heavily on what researchers call behavioral synchrony, the matching of specific actions between individuals. A 2018 study at the University of Tokyo found that cats show increased neural activity in the temporal cortex, the region processing social information, when humans mimic feline-specific behaviors, rather than when humans simply speak to them or pet them. The slow blink fits this pattern perfectly. It's not about your cat reading your emotions or understanding your intentions in a complex way. It's about your cat recognizing that you've learned their language, that you're willing to perform a behavior that makes you momentarily vulnerable, and that you do it consistently enough to be trusted. Every time your cat slow blinks at you, they're running a calculation. This creature knows how to signal safety in my terms, has done it reliably before, and is doing it again now. That calculation, repeated over time, becomes the foundation of what we call the human-cat bond. Number 7. Why this matters more than we thought. Return to that moment. Your cat across the room, eyes slowly closing. Now you understand what's actually happening beneath that simple gesture. Their amygdala is being suppressed. Their oxytocin is rising. They're performing a motor sequence that takes nearly 2 seconds of deliberate control. They're using a signal they learned from their mother and repurposed specifically for you. They're making themselves vulnerable in a way they rarely do with other cats. They're calculating trust. When you slow blink back, you're confirming every part of that equation, telling your cat in the only language that registers at the neurological level that the safety they're offering is mutual. The research on this is not ambiguous. The slow blink is one of the clearest windows we have into how cats experience attachment, and it's a window they're opening for you multiple times a day. If you've been ignoring those slow blinks or mistaking them for sleepiness, start paying attention now. Return them. Let your cat see you close your eyes deliberately, hold that closure, and open them again while maintaining eye contact. You're not just making a gesture. You're participating in a communication system that evolution and domestication spent thousands of years refining, and your cat is waiting to see if you speak their language. If this changed how you'll look at your cat from now on, subscribe so you don't miss what else the research reveals. And tell me in the comments, does your cat slow blink at you, and have you been slow blinking back?